Forgive. The two-syllable word is not hard to let roll off our tongues. The challenge is letting the word's meaning infiltrate our hearts and minds, especially when we need to forgive ourselves. Hi, I'm spiritual fitness coach John Comstock, and if you're anything like me, you know exactly what I mean. Recently, we received a snowfall of about 7 inches overnight. The snowblower was purring, so my wife and I started working on clearing the driveway. Then I looked across the road and saw our neighbor's driveway. Knowing the husband had a bad back, we went over and cleared their driveway. As the day went on, we began helping more people clear driveways. I started to feel frustrated. Why? I knew my work to-do list was not getting items checked off because we're clearing driveways. I felt like I was having a Jekyll and Hyde kind of moment. Knowing that on the one hand, helping people was important, yet feeling a tinge of resentment knowing I was getting behind on my work. I began to condemn myself with thoughts like, "What's wrong with you, John? A good Christian wouldn't be so frustrated with helping people. You've just let Jesus down, and he's frustrated with you." In Matthew 6:15, Jesus said, "But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses." When we consider this scripture, we most often think about forgiving others. However, what if the others also includes forgiving yourself? So let's consider a couple of things. First, what if the wisdom Jesus is giving us is not saying, Father cannot forgive you if you do not forgive others? What if the wisdom in this passage is more in the spirit of this foundational truth? Until we forgive others, we cannot receive the forgiveness of our Father because unforgiveness toward others is that which will define us, making it next to impossible to allow the forgiveness of our Father to define our identity and worth. When we are wronged and feel the pain of another person's actions, the story we tell ourselves about how we were wrong will consume us. Our identity and worth will be surrendered to the person who wronged us, making it impossible for God to be the source of our identity and worth, even if the person we are not forgiving is ourself. Most often, the difficulty in forgiving ourselves is not because of guilt. Guilt says, I have done something wrong. Guilt requires empathy, and empathy at its most basic form is perspective taking. Empathy is stepping into another person's shoes and observing our behavior from their vantage point. Guilt is extremely healthy because it moves us toward relational repair. The reason why most people struggle to forgive themselves is because of shame. Shame says, I am wrong. Whereas guilt is an evaluation of our behavior, shame is an evaluation of our identity and worth. For example, it's one thing to confess that I have lied. That's a declaration about my behavior. It's quite another thing to declare I am a liar. The I am statement is an identity statement. If we cling to our identity as a liar, we can't simultaneously be defined by our Father's lavish forgiveness, grace, and love. Shame tells us our brokenness makes it impossible for us to be accepted and loved. The good news is you are accepted and you are loved because you were created in the image of a God who is love. With that, here's today's challenge. The next time you have difficulty receiving forgiveness, stop and ask Jesus to help you listen for the I am statements. I am statements covered in shame lies. Jesus can help you identify those statements that sound like, because I did fill in the blank, I am not fill in the blank enough to be accepted and loved. Then replace the lie with, because I did blank and ask for forgiveness, I can live in freedom knowing I am not my behavior. I am the beloved of Jesus Christ. Now, go win today.